I am trash because I recorded a full-on episode, but I never hit that button. So I talked myself out, and I had this whole beautiful episode done in one take, and it was flawless. And I really loved my delivery, and I didn't record a single bit of it. So I'm kind of disappointed. But I'm gonna try to do it again. My name is David. I'm just a dad. I'm trying to help you guys become the best version of yourself, so you guys can call yourself the best dad ever. And today we're talking about addiction. So I started this that previous recording apologizing for my sweat, but as the time went on, I'm not even that sweaty anymore. I just got done from a run, and I'm gonna use some things that I saw during the run to talk to you guys about addictions. I know last episode I said I was gonna talk to you guys about some of the things that I saw on my vacation. I'll get to that at the end of the episode, but I was out on this quick, easy 30-minute recovery run, and I saw things that broke my heart. So I run around this park, the swimming pool, and this tot lot playground where toddlers play at. It's about a half a mile loop, and I just loop it up, like multiple times, just to keep close to my home. And as I'm circling around one of the perimeters where the tot lot is, there's this dad with his daughter, probably no older than 3, and he's just on his phone the whole time. And every time I come around and make a lap, I run my lap in about like 4 minutes, 5 minutes on an easy pace. And every time I come around, every 5 minutes, he's still on his phone. He's sitting by the side, just on his phone, sitting on like a ledge on his phone. And his daughter is like, talking up a storm. I hear her screaming and yelling and being playful, trying to get his attention. And it's cool that, the baby plays by herself and develops that, ability to do so. But it breaks my heart that we can be so addicted to our phone that in 30 minutes of hanging out for quality time, there's no quality time spent together. There's no quality time spent engaged and communicating and interacting. And it's just heartbreaking, and then, on the other parts of my run, as I'm looping around this loop, I saw a couple walking their beautiful dog. God bless this couple. They're a beautiful young couple, fit, healthy probably. But both of them are just on their phones. And as you can tell by the sunlight coming in, it's a beautiful evening. It's a beautiful afternoon. It's a beautiful sunset going on right now. And it's a beautiful time to be outside. But they're just on their phone. So I saw them on one perimeter. I wrap it around and I see them, walking up the street. And I see them on the other end and they're still on their phone. And I'm thinking to myself, what could be so amazing on your phone that you're on it constantly for like 5 minutes straight on this walk, And I get it if you're checking your text, checking an email, and then putting it away, and we can be better with that too. Right? Like, you don't have to check all your notifications in a 30-minute walk. And I'm preaching this, I'm saying this, and I know I'm guilty of it myself, but at least I'm aware of it, right? And it starts with awareness. Because sometimes we're so unconscious to it. And this goes further. Because, this is not just about ourselves and our addictions. We create the example, we create the behavior, we are the role model to our kids, and what they see us doing, they mimic it. My daughter is 2 now, and she mimics the things I say. She mimics the actions that I do. She mimics the things that we do around the house, like if we're cleaning and putting pots and pans away, and she'll pretend to organize and whatnot too. So if she sees us on our phone, she sees us on our devices, she sees us watching TV all the time, what do you think she's gonna want to do, right? And I loop this into the things that I saw on my vacation. I saw kids at a resort, poolside, choosing to be on a phone with headphones on. Teenagers, and I get it. You want to be social with your friends away from, your home. But then I see toddlers, I see, kids doing the same. And I'm thinking to myself, and it's not every kid, right? I'm not saying it's like the majority of it, but I do see instances of it. But it's crazy to me because you're at a resort. There's so many activities going on. There's pools. There's kids water park slides and kids activities, and there's food and drinks and all these fun things. Music, the beach. It's a beautiful resort, beautiful property, right? And I'm just amazed that you can choose to watch whatever you're watching on your phone, your iPad. And then to double that up, right? I go into those the buffet, the restaurants. And I see families just putting their kids on a device. I had dinner at the hibachi that you have to make a reservation for, and they put on a little show, and we sit all around that same table, and they put that show on for you. And there's a couple sitting across the way from me, had two boys with them, probably no older than, probably younger than 10, the oldest being around 10, right? And both of them were just throwing fits while on their iPads. They didn't want to eat anything. They didn't want to participate with the chef's presentation, and then they didn't want to listen to their parents, right? All while screaming and throwing a tantrum while on their iPads, and it just broke my heart because I know that the parents are trying to best deal with their emotional outbursts by giving something to them so that they can cope with it, so that they don't distract their neighbors, they don't distract the dining group. It's same with seeing the parents that give their kids iPads in the airport lounges or during their flight. And I get it, because you don't want to distract your fellow passengers, and you're afraid that a little bit of crying might annoy your neighbors. But rather than giving into that feeling of self-conscious about your kids' behavior, can't we be one step better? And can't we just interact? Can't we help regulate their emotions? Can't we just engage with them? Can we help bring them out of that distraction and change their environment so that they can stop crying? Because when they're crying, they're dealing with their emotional irregularities and their emotional outbursts, and not knowing how to process it, and they're just looking for ways to cope. But if we're just shoving a screen in their faces, they're just learning to cope with their emotions with a screen at an early age. So we're actively participating, creating a dependency on a screen at an early age in their lives, setting them up for failure. But the sad part is that we're not even aware of that. Because at a buffet, seeing kids on their devices while, the family's having dinner, I also see the dad playing some sort of game on his phone on the other end while the wife just sits there kicking it by herself. And that's crazy to me. How can you be so unaware of, your behaviors and what it's causing and what it's doing to your child, right? And I'm not trying to sit here on a high horse and preach to you guys, because I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I'd be watching Arsenal football on a Sunday morning, and I get it, But it starts with awareness. I'm aware of it. I do so many things to make sure that I'm not addicted to it, right? I practice going on my dog walks every morning, every afternoon, no devices. I'm not listening to anything. I went on this 30-minute easy run, no AirPods in my ear. How many of you guys can go to the gym, go on a run, go on a bike ride, whatever your poison is, right? How many of you guys can do that without having your headphones in? Because I see those memes and those people that say, oh yeah, if you go to the gym and you don't have your AirPods with you, you might as well turn back around, right? That's so commonplace, but it's baffling to me because we are so afraid of our own mind, sitting with our thoughts, that we need some sort of distraction. We're addicted to the stimulus of distraction. And you could be like, oh yeah, but David, I'm listening to a podcast to better myself. I guarantee you, you are absorbing nothing of it. You're absorbing less than 50% of the information in that podcast. I guarantee you. Because you're not present with your workout, you're not present with your whatever your content you're listening to. We are addicted to the stimulus, the noise, the distraction, because at the end of the day, we are scared to sit with our thoughts, with our mind, with the beauty of what's inside us, our subconscious self. And it's frightening, it's sad, and it's amazing. It's amazing to see. It's amazing to see the society that we're in today. So I urge you guys just to be aware, just to be that one bit more aware of the vices that you have, the addictions that you deal with, the level of addiction that you have. What's your consumption rate? How much are you consuming? How much are you on your phone? What are you watching on your phone or your devices or your screen time, right? Because it starts with awareness. You don't get better when you don't know your baseline. You won't know how much you want to improve if you don't know the baseline. So I urge you guys, get that baseline, set some goals out on how you want to improve it, reflect on how it's affecting your life, how it's affecting your emotions, how it's affecting your day-to-day life and your interactions with the loved ones. Reflect on how it's impacting your kids. And I urge you guys to find ways to improve and optimize. There's no wrong path or wrongdoing with self-improvement and optimizing. So I urge you guys to find the things that you want to improve and optimize, put steps in place on how you want to get there, and track it and get better. So you guys can be the best version of yourself. So you can call yourself the best dad ever, the best mom ever, so that you guys can have the best kids ever. And they can say that they had the best life and best upbringing ever. That they're proud that you're their dad. Till the next video, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. In the next episode, I'm getting into the nitty and gritty of my addictions, the personal demons that I faced and I still face till this day. It's dark, it's grim, but it needs to be talked about. It's nasty. But I'm gonna leave it on a cliffhanger. You'll hear more about it on the next episode. I hope to do it tomorrow. I appreciate you guys with the bottom of my heart. Have a great night.